Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here, and welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Friday evening, December 27, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you guys utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section, but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here where the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what that's been like in your ear recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Excuse me. So we're going to be looking at what the Euro and the GFS supercomputer models are showing for the next 168 hours. So we know that's the next 7 days, just like what the US National Hurricane Center would do. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp here at the top, and keep your eyes focused across the Caribbean. For reference, we have Jamaica right here, and we're looking for all of this that we see on the key on the right. The greens that represent up to 1 to 5 inches of rainfall. The yellows into the oranges and the reds that represents 5 to 20 inches of rainfall. Let us see exactly what's going to be unfolding over the next 7 days. So we can see that as we head into Saturday, we're going to be having some moisture, some greens lingering in and around the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Eastern Jamaica, as well as the waters to the south and west of us. Let us see what's happening as we head into Sunday. Sunday, we see a lot of moisture across the central to the southern United States, associated with a broad area of low pressure attached to a frontal system. We also see some moisture to the south of Hispaniola, across portions of Jamaica for sure. Heading into Monday, we see that we have more whites than anything else. That represents little to no rainfall. More of the rainfall is off towards south. So too something similar on Tuesday, Wednesday, heading into Thursday and Friday. And we're going to be stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours. This is valid for 7 a.m. on Friday, January 3, and we can see a lot of moisture across the southwestern Caribbean, some moisture across eastern Jamaica, and some moisture stretching all the way from the waters to the west of Jamaica all the way into Cuba, as well as the southern Bahamas, stretching all the way up into the northern portion of North Atlantic, associated with the frontal system. Let us see if the latest GFS that just came out an hour ago is showing something similar. So going ahead into Saturday, we see that yes, we're going to be having some lingering rainfall, some moisture across the southwestern Caribbean especially. Heading into Sunday, we see that we're going to be having some lingering rainfall, some moisture stretching from the eastern Caribbean all the way to the south of Hispaniola, all the way into Central America. Heading into Monday, definitely less rainfall. We see more whites, more of the rainfall to our south. Heading into Tuesday, something similar. Heading into Wednesday, definitely less rainfall, something similar to Tuesday. Thursday, something similar to Wednesday. Heading into Friday, we're going to be stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for Friday, January 3 as well. What do we see? Just like what the Euro model showed, more of the moisture to the south of us, but the GFS has a lot of it to our west too, across Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, section of Honduras. The Euro had more of that rainfall across the southwestern Caribbean. GFS has a lot of it across the southwestern Caribbean as well as the western Caribbean. Also has some rainfall across northern Jamaica too, and we also see the moisture associated with the frontal system that the Euro had, stretching all the way from Cuba all the way up into the southern Bahamas. It's a bit more west to off where the Euro was showing it, but we get the gist. By the end of the next 7 days, there should be a frontal system right here across the southern Bahamas, stretching all the way up into the northern portion of North Atlantic. If we take a look at the total accumulated precipitation for the next 7 days, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Friday, January 3. And we can see that the most in the way of rainfall is represented by the dark reds, the purples, the pinks, as well as the peach colors. And we know all of this represents the 2 all the way up to the 4 to the 6 to the 8 inches of rainfall. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus that the most rainfall over the next 7 days should be across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, the eastern portion of the Yucatan Peninsula, Belize, northeastern Guatemala, northern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, western Venezuela, stretching all the way up across the western Caribbean. And we can also see that portions of the southeastern Caribbean starting to get in some of the action too. A lot of moisture across eastern Venezuela, Guyana, sections of Trinidad and Tobago gonna be getting in on some of the flood triggering rainfall as well. We see the purples in there. So by the end of the next 7 days, as we start to get into January's first week, we're gonna be getting in a lot of moisture across these areas. So some amount of isolated flash flooding could definitely be possible. And if we take a look at the close-up of Jamaica regarding the next 7 days, not much change. Basically a new year, but the same song. Northeastern parishes getting the brunt of the rainfall. You know, we're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland for sure. We see the blues into the greens, into the slight yellows. Represents anywhere from 10 all the way up to 40 millimeters of rainfall. So that's gonna be taking place. Maybe some isolated flash flooding, if not some land slippages, taking place in Portland. As expected, it's the dry season, so northern Jamaica is gonna be getting most of the rainfall for sure. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see a frontal system right here stretching all the way from northern portion of North Atlantic all the way down to the north of Puerto Rico. We can see another frontal system right here stretching all the way from northern portion of North Atlantic all the way down to the north of the main development region. Broken lines associated with some troughs across portions of the northwestern main development region, and another frontal system right here across the east coast of the United States. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities. The clouds associated with the frontal system across the east coast, the clouds associated with the troughs that we mentioned across the northwestern portion of the main development region, and the numerous frontal systems across the northern portion of the North Atlantic. Still have a lot of moisture associated with the leftover trough though across sections of the central to the western Caribbean. We can also make out the flow of the low level clouds being steered from east to west, all courtesy of the ridge of high pressures to the north that are sending all of these entities to the west. Just some low level clouds with some isolated shores, and we can also see the upper level clouds being steered off towards the north and the east by that upper level wind shear for sure. This is definitely the reason why we don't have systems this time of year for real, because these upper level winds are gonna be ripping these thunderstorms off in general. Excuse me. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean today later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Friday, December 27, 2024. It was stated that rain was in the forecast for parts of some northern and eastern parishes on a Friday morning, also affecting sections of some central and western parishes during Friday afternoon. And we know northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, while eastern parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of in the county of Middlesex, so we're talking about St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. While western parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? As early as 11:06 a.m., the visible satellite image was posted right here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, as well as on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can see the visible satellite image that was posted at that time, the late morning. And we're indeed getting on some clouds, bring some isolated shores to sections of some northern parishes. So we're talking about Portland, if not St. Mary, St. Anne. More so overcast skies, maybe some isolated shores, especially across Portland. We know the drill. That parishes that have natural rainforests for rainfall in general. And then at around 3:31 p.m., the visible satellite images were posted, and they definitely highlighted the low level flow of the clouds, and they were definitely building. We saw the clouds, especially across inland areas of some southern parishes for sure. So we're talking about northern St. Elizabeth, northern Manchester, northern Clarendon, northern St. Catherine. Definitely got in on some amount of overcast skies, if not some isolated showers for sure. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can make out that low level flow steering all of those clouds from east, southeast, west, northwest. We even had a brief isolated thunderstorm in the evening hours, steering the cloud tops off towards the east, northeast, even more than once for sure. Definitely had some brief thunderstorms, and the infrared satellite imagery is going to confirm this. We can see the clouds right here. We even had one sparkling white that represents lightning, but we saw the clouds being sheared off towards the northeast for sure. So that indeed confirms the rainfall that we had across the island today. And if we take a look at the flat bridge camera at around 4:12 p.m. from See Jamaica's YouTube channel, we can see that there was not much to see here in terms of bad weather. Definitely fair conditions, more so in the way of overcast skies than anything else. Definitely dry conditions at that time. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just subscribe to See Jamaica on YouTube. They have the Flatbridge Cam for your viewing pleasure. They also have the halfway tree, the what do you call it? The panoramic city view from up in the hills of East Kingston. And they are planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So if I were, I'd definitely subscribe to this so that I don't miss out. If we take a look at the comments that came in today, we had Charlene Morris 2337 stating, we here in Westmoreland, Jamaica finally got the rain right now. So that indeed confirms the rainfall that portion of Western Jamaica got. Some of these clouds definitely pushed westward for sure. Thank you for confirming it, Miss Morris. We also have on our Instagram page, zo.k_lee_ stating, clouds look like it'll be raining soon, and then thereafter sometime it's gone now. It's kind of sunny. I'm from St. Catherine. Thank you for confirming. And even on our Facebook page, we had Emma Reed stating moderately overcast. Dreeny RJ stating Porty got dark skies. And we even have one comment here on our Twitter page from PG876 stating overcast, been mostly that easy in St. James. And if we take a look at what's happening right now, let us reload the page here and look at the very latest still image. And we see the latest images as of 23:55 UTC, which is actually 6:55 p.m. And this just came out 15 minutes ago, considering that it's 7:10 p.m. right now. And what do we see across the island? Just some upper level clouds, nothing significant. All of this being steered from west northwest to east northeast by that upper level wind shear, and we don't expect any rainfall under all of this at all. If we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, let us see if we can get the latest. If we reload this, the latest that is showing is as of 4 p.m. and it was showing that rainfall across sections of northern Manchester, northern St. Elizabeth, section of Westmoreland at that time. Well, looks like it glitched out at that time for real. So doesn't seem like we have the latest to show. Let us see what's happening on the latest Guantanamo Bay Cuban naval radar imagery. We do see some rainfall across eastern portions of Cuba. Not seeing much rainfall across Jamaica, but we do see some rainfall right here across sections of northern or northwestern Haiti right there. Taking a look at the Cayman radar, let's reload this so that we have the very latest. Let's see what's happening over there. Not seeing much happening across the Cayman Islands right now, but we do see some rain bands to the south of there as well as to the west of there. And we see some of this pushing eastward, all courtesy of the upper level wind shear for sure. And if we take a look at what's happening right now on the Crossroads cam, let's see what's happening. The latest, let us see the very latest, live we're going. Alright, so there we go, 7:12 p.m. showing that we have people in their vehicles going about their business, people walking, going about their business. Nothing significant in terms of bad weather as we speak. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Saturday, temperature should be down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay as well as Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Saturday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Saturday, and we have Jamaica right here embedded in some yellows and some slight orange colors. That represents up to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperature. But look at this huge blast of cold air across the waters to the north of the Caribbean, to the northeast of Cuba, to the east of the Bahamas, to the north of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the Leeward Islands. This is crazy. This is representing anywhere from 1 all the way down to maybe 6, maybe even 7 degrees Celsius below normal temperatures. And we see the flow of the wind. So who knows, maybe some of this might seep in to portions of the Greater Antilles, including Jamaica, this weekend into early next week. We'll see exactly what unfolds. I'll definitely be here to keep you posted. Either way, as of right now, up to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperature is expected for tomorrow, considering that the yellows and the slight oranges represent what we see here on the key on the right, up to 2 degrees Celsius. And we know the average temperatures or normal temperatures for the month of December across Jamaica are around 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and when that's calculated to degrees Celsius, that's around 30.6 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Saturday. And we're indeed grateful that my JPS Online's Twitter page is not saying anything about any form of maintenance outage advisories, because we know that if we have power outages in our area, it can definitely make the temperatures feel hotter than normal because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So we're indeed grateful that for the holidays, they're not really doing much work at all. Either way, if tomorrow is going to be a bit too hot for you, we have some tips here to beat the heat. It stays here: dress down, wear lightweight clothing, and use sunscreen. Check on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions, and pets. Be cool, stay indoors, and make use of fans and air conditioners. Avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make dehydration worse. And limit non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. And I always stress the importance of this one. Drink lots of water. Even if you're not thirsty, drink a lot of water throughout the day. Put away those sugar drinks, drink water instead as well. Taking a look at the dry air map, we know that the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom: the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites within those reds. And we can see a lot of dry air across the Gulf of Mexico, off the east coast of the US, as well as the northern portion of North Atlantic in general. A lot of moist air across the Caribbean, still into the main development region, southern portion, as we can see by all of those blues, not to mention all of the grays that represents the cloud cover. And if we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Saturday, we're indeed grateful that that huge plume of Saharan dust, for the most part, majority of it passed to the south of Jamaica. We also see that some of it is still lingering or expected to linger by 2 p.m. on Saturday across the kingdom of Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. But we can see that majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, majority of Northern and South America should be in the clear, as all of the burns represent the Saharan dust should be right here across the eastern main development regions, across Africa. We know the Saharan dust can definitely cause hazy skies, not to mention trigger so much of respiratory illnesses, asthma, sinusitis in some persons. So we're indeed grateful that the Saharan dust is not going to be coming our way at all. 2 p.m. on Friday. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that much of the Caribbean is experiencing the lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues. That represents what we see here on the key on the bottom right. That's 0.5 for meter wave height, all the way up to 1.5 meter wave heights. The waters to the north of the island, 1.5 meter wave heights. Waters to the south of the island, 1 meter wave heights. Just for those fisher folk that need this information, and that's because of the winds that are expected. We can see the winds are going to be coming in from the east for the most part, for sure. And we see the light shades of greens to bright greens into the slight yellows that represents anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 all the way up to 20 knots, maybe even gusting to 25 knots, especially right here to the east of Cuba. And regarding the close-up of Jamaica and these wind forecasts, we are seeing that we're going to be getting up to 17 knots on the north coast, on the south coast up to 12 knots. And we also see that the air is going to be piling up across section of some central western parishes, especially the southern portions. So we might just get some diurnal convection, daytime heating rainfall across those spots. And with the upper level wind still coming in from the southwest, we can get in on a brief isolated thunder shower, and then the high cold cloud tops being sheared off towards the northeast once more. If we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 7 a.m. on Saturday, and we do see the blues represent rainfall. As a matter of fact, even tonight, the supercomputer models were showing rainfall for maybe 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m. Let's see exactly what unfolds. Either way, we're looking at when the sun comes up here. So 7 a.m. blues represent rainfall across northern Jamaica. So maybe sections of Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Skipping ahead to about 10 a.m. Not much change, especially across St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. We see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with that. Then by around 5 p.m., look at what's taking place. The blues represent rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes, but it's more isolated than anything else. Maybe some inland areas, nothing too significant. Maybe up into some northern portions of some southern parishes, or some southern portions of some northern parishes. And we see that there is consensus on both the Euro and the GFS models. And regarding the accumulated precipitation forecast, both the Euro and the GFS are adamant that the most rainfall should be affecting northeastern parishes tomorrow, especially across Portland. The Euro has up to 0.35 of an inch of rainfall over there. The GFS has up to at least 0.33 of an inch of rainfall up there. We'll see exactly what unfolds. And it's usually expected this time of year. We're in our dry season, especially for the south coast. In Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 25 millimeters of rainfall during this month. That's about an inch of rainfall. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive close to 4 inches of rainfall. That's about 90 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives for December or for the year in terms of rainfall, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website will show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters that we receive on the rain gauge. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the calculations yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have some clouds, still bring some overcast skies and some thunderstorms to portions of western Cuba, the Bahamas, the western Caribbean, sections of Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. We can also see that section of the waters to the north of Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic are getting in some action. Let us see what's happening if we take a closer look with the Doppler radar images. Alright, here we go. So we can see some rainfall in and around Puerto Rico for sure. Some moderate to heavy rainfall in the yellows, the oranges, the reds, especially to the north of Puerto Rico as we speak. And if we load these images from earlier today, we can see that rainfall was definitely affecting portions of eastern, central, southern, and western Puerto Rico for sure. We can also see the rain bands. They're definitely looking like they're pushing more south or southeastward more than anything else. Very interesting pattern over there as we speak. Taking a look at the Barbados radar, we can see some rainfall coming in from the east northeast, some isolated showers, nothing too significant. We see a strand of shower passing right here to the south of Martinique, heading into portion of northern St. Lucia. We can also see some rainfall heading into the Grenadines, stretching all the way from Barbados too. Maybe some of that action could affect sections of Grenada tonight. Scrolling down, let's see what's happening across Trinidad and Tobago. Not much, but we do see some sprinkles of showers to the east of Tobago right now. Maybe some of that might make it into Tobago or Trinidad later on tonight into tomorrow. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, look at all of this rainfall across northwestern Cuba, especially right there to the south of Florida, affecting section of northern Bahamas, pushing from west southwest to east northeast. We can also see some rainfall passing to the north of the ABC Islands from east-west, and we can see some rainfall sitting on top of sections of Colombia as we speak. And if we take a look at where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall expected from now until 10 p.m. on Saturday. And clearly the most rainfall should be where we have these yellows into the reds, especially the dark red. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are adamant that area between Florida and Cuba should be getting in a lot of rainfall. That area between the Yucatan and Cuba as well. The Western Caribbean, section of Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Western Venezuela. We can also see some rainfall in store for a portion of eastern Cuba, eastern Jamaica, northeastern Jamaica, section of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands right there. Excuse me. Spilling into St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, also affecting section of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines for sure, as well as some areas across Trinidad and Tobago. Just some isolated shores. You see the light shades of greens. You can also see some of this rainfall affecting section of southern Venezuela, coastal areas of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana getting on some of the action too. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.